Hello and welcome to Empowered Learning. This video is part 3 of the Matrix Concepts and Operations series. So we're on question number 15 now. And we're looking at this and we're asked to find out what the difference in matrix A versus the difference in between matrix A and C. And so we know that whenever we are adding or subtracting matrices, we have to have the same dimension or the same order to be able to do it. So matrix A we see is a 3 by 2 matrix, and matrix B is a 2 by 2. And so here, although we could multiply these together, we cannot add or subtract these because our order or dimension is not the same. Okay? And so here we see that we have a choice for A minus C, and of course we're not going to choose that, so it's a difference in between B and C here. So the first one says the matrix operation is not defined. The difference of two matrices of different orders is undefined. So I think that's what we should pick here. And so the other one says, just to be sure, the matrix operation is not defined. The number of columns in the first matrix is not the same as the number of rows in the second matrix. Okay, so here we see that that's not necessarily true, because the number of columns in the first matrix is 2, and the number of rows in the second matrix, which is C, is 2. So that matches. But we do know that the orders are not the same. So all right, so moving on to the next question here. We're asked to read this and then we'll put some matrices together. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. And now we'll start answering this question. So completing the transition to adulthood is measured by one or more of the following: leaving home, finishing school, getting married, having a child, or being financially independent. The bar graph shows the percentage of people from ages 20 to 30 who had completed the transition to adulthood in 1960 and again in the year 2000. And the first thing that we're asked to do is to use a 2 by 2 matrix to represent the data for the year 2000. And so to figure out what we got going on here, we need to click on this to see what's happening. So if we look here, we see that the blue is just the men and the red is the women. And so we have data for the year 1960, which is these first two, and data for the year 2000. And this is for men, and of course we come over here, we have it for women. So the first thing that we're asked to do here is to come up with a 2 by 2 matrix where we have all the information from the year 2000. So we'll go ahead and form that first. All right, so if we write all this information up here, this is what it's going to look like in matrix form. So you'll see here that for the year 2000, for the men, we have 4% and 30%. And then for the women for 2000, if we look over here, we have 11% and 43% respectively for ages 20 and 30. And then we do the same thing for 1960. The women here have 26 and 76% for age 20 and 30. And then 4 and 30% and, sorry, not 4, 12 and 63% for ages 20 and 30 for 1960. Okay. So we have that information there. So we'll just click done. And so we'll go ahead and form our matrices here. So we got a 2 by 2 for this first one here, and this would be just the year 2000. So this will be the first one that we type in. And we'll check the answer. All right, so that answer. So now what we'll do is go ahead and put in the next matrix, next square matrix that is, and for this one this will be 1960. So we'll put in that corresponding information. All right. So now from there, we need to find out what is the difference in between matrix A and matrix B. Okay. And so, of course, here, because they're calling this matrix A and that one matrix B. And so, of course, what this would represent is the difference in percentages of men and women for these particular years. All right, so here, this will be our corresponding matrix B. This will be our corresponding matrix A. So if we do B minus A, of course, that's going to be the difference in between the number of men and women at these different ages that transition to adulthood. The difference in between 1960 versus now in 2000. So here we would have to say B minus A, so we need to go back this way. So 12 minus 4 would be 8. 26 minus 11 there would be 15. 63 minus 30 would be 33. And 76 minus 43 would be, I think, 33, I believe. Yep, 6 minus 3 is 3, and 7 minus 4 is 3. And so that would be the difference. So difference in adulthood transition from 1960 to 2000. So let's go ahead and enter this information in. So this is another 2x2, and we'll enter in the info. All right. So what does it matrix represents? It said the difference in the percentage of people age 30. Nope. So A won't work. We need something for both 1960 and 2000. So the difference in between the percentage of people age 30 who had it. Nope. And this is the difference of people who had age 20. And for C, we need to have the difference in between the percentage of men and the percentage of women who had completed their transition in adulthood in 1960 and 2000, and then the difference between the percentage of people who had completed the transition to adulthood between here. So of course this is percentages, so I think D would be the answer there. All right, and so this concludes our example videos for matrix operations as well as some of the basic concepts.